Welcome everyone to another episode of Inside the Circle. As always, the voice of HCS here, Zach, along with owner promoter Josh, and of course, as always, the captain, Big Ben. How we doing, fellas?
Good. Competitor Ben as well.
Competitor Ben. That was definitely one of the announcements I had going here.
Another hat for the cat.
He does it all, folks. I think we've maybe seen him in the booth before. We've seen him rep. We've seen him compete. We've seen him set up and break down mats. Ben, what's it feel like doing it all?
It's nice. It's fun. It's funny because it definitely felt different before, like before the show, not really having to do, like I still did some of the setup, like not having to do too much setup, like actually getting to feel what some of the people who compete feel when they're in the building. It might sound weird, but it didn't feel too different from reffing something. I don't know why, but it's just like I feel like I'm used to being in the circle. I'm used to being on the mat, and even though I might not have competed there before, I think reffing definitely gave me a good entry to it. You know what I mean? I knew how the rules worked. I knew everything. So it wasn't a great performance by me. I'm not super happy about it, but I had a great time. Thank you for Josh for letting me on. It was about 2 weeks before the show. Josh hit me up and he's like, there's someone in the 55 blue gi bracket. Do you want in? And I was like, hey, why not? I ref all these shows on HCS. I've always brought all my gear with me every time I ref, just in case, because we've had last minute pullouts before, just in case, there's like a 205-pound black belt who like needs an opponent. But yeah, it was a good time. I had a lot of fun competing, and yeah, it was just a great time. I would like to do it again in the future. Definitely gonna ref a few more shows, but in the future, if I ever get the opportunity again, I would love to compete at HCS again.
What
I know the guy.
Showing the latest of second submission.
Yeah.
Back and forth match. I don't know if that's a bad showing.
Yeah. It was fun though. I'm disappointed I didn't get to hear Zach say, Captain Ben drops the hammer, but next time.
One day it'll come. Before we get into it, as always, thank you to our sponsors. All Jersey Mechanical, AVP Live, our traditional sponsors, always there with us. And we've had some change-ups on the sponsorship crew. None bigger than potentially Savvy Fit Soaps. Savvy Fit Soaps, if you were tuning into the broadcast, was the sponsor of our really freaking natural submission of the day. It does go to Ben's opponent, Jabari Lofton. He earned an extra soap because not only did he submit the captain, which impressive in its own right, he again somehow he submitted Ben with maybe 1.5 seconds left. He somehow had a later submission in a later match where I don't even know if there was time on the clock when it happened. Jabari Lofton, our really freaking natural submission of the day. Also coming to the circle, one sleeve. Josh, anything to say about one sleeve?
One sleeve rash guard. They have one sleeve, two sleeves, no sleeves. They are one of the hottest local rash guard companies out here. They reach out to us and super excited to have them in for HCS 15 for the Amateur Invitational and the team duels. They'll have a booth in, so they'll be selling stuff all day long. They're also going to be giving out a couple of awards. We'll talk about those going there, but we're going to be looking at probably fastest submission and possibly most ticket sales by the competitors. So a little push out, but super excited to have them on board.
Exciting stuff there. And of course, you may have noticed one of our main sponsors no longer on the board. I'm not thankful for Fridays anymore, but I am thankful for Tuesdays. Nothing like a Tuesday. And you know what's great on a Tuesday? Ruby Tuesday. Salad bar extraordinaire Ruby Tuesdays is joining us inside the circle. Be on the lookout for that. And when you're craving a salad, a burger, fried appetizer, maybe a dessert, where can you get that all? No better place than Ruby Tuesday. All right, a couple quick announcements before we get into the recap for Ironman Challenge 3. Couple of competitors. We saw a fight to win. Heard we had a good showing there.
Yeah, there's a couple of rematches. Molly Zabrowski went against Ainsley, which out there. The champ, double champ, Cockle, did what he does, got to win. Kyle Myers did what he does, got to win. Who else did we miss? We had Aldo Bajari was on the card. Kyle John was on the card. Kyle got another win after losing here, and then he got back in. There's so many. I can go back to the list.
You would have known all of this if you follow us on Instagram, so make sure you do. HCS_grappling, correct?
Yep.
Follow there because you would have seen that on the story and you would have already known. You wouldn't have had to wait for this delayed update from me. We also would like to wish some of our competitors good luck on the upcoming ADCC trials. Our competitors always keep putting HCS on the map, so we always appreciate that when they go chase those opportunities outside. So good luck to all of them because it only just helps the brand grow. And personally, I mean, I know I have a big announcement, but probably bigger than any other announcement on this here podcast. No one else can trump this. I'm going to be an uncle, which is clearly more important than most. Josh, anything? You got any update?
I guess that would make me a father.
Oh, damn. I guess that's kind of cool. Being an uncle's cooler, but you know, all the fun, none of the responsibility.
Well, I mean, disclaimer, we did originally have an idea of going down to the trials this weekend. But Lady Hammer had another idea, and we will be having a gender reveal the first day of the trial. So some people will be punching your ticket. We are going to find out boy or girl in next jiu-jitsu wrestling phenomenon, whatever we got going on, doesn't matter. It's gonna do what it's gonna do. Just kidding. As my future child watches this, because I'm sure you'll be watching this.
Go back and get the catalogs.
Whatever you want. But
as long as what you want is to be an HCS champion.
Yeah, it is a family business, so you will be working in some way.
We are not against nepotism here. Not at all.
Might as well compete.
Might as well. Yeah, keeper of the gender here. I know. No one else does.
Is that why you're wearing a blue shirt? Is that why you're wearing a blue shirt?
It is not. I was at a work event and I had to put on a collared shirt. And this is the one that was wrinkliest. Or least wrinkly.
The most non-wrinkle.
Yeah, most anti-wrinkled shirt I had this morning.
In fact, I had to go to Kohl's yesterday and buy new clothing for Saturday because I'm a child and only wear pajamas every day.
That's the jiu-jitsu lifestyle.
Pajamas or the competing pajamas known as the gi. Which great segue by me. Plus points. HCS Ironman Challenge 3. We welcomed the gi inside the circle. You asked for it. We brought it. And I would say it delivered.
Yeah. I mean, Ben was part of the first ever official gi match. I thought that was when I was making the match order. I texted Ben the night before. I was like, yo, you want to start off the show? Sure. Boom. He's the only reason. I'm going to tell everybody here. Ben is the only reason why the gi was brought to the table. I said, nah, dude, we're no gi. Like, that's what we do. He's like, dude, I think we'll be all right. So we put it in. I would have liked to see a little more registration for it. But we ended up having 4 undercard matches or the tournament matches. And then we had the 1 pro match, which I think the gi was all right. I don't think I think our rules worked out. I think overtime worked out well. The wall didn't really get involved too much. Out of bounds did in the pro match with Aaron, but that's why we make the rules. But I'm okay with bringing the gi back. Going forward, I think we'll see it in the Ironman every time. I think I'll always put a gi division. And if a matchup makes sense, if 2 people want to go in the gi, sure, let's do it. But I think I was excited for us to do something different every time we put on a show or something. We want to do a little different. So it was right. Again, I'm not the biggest gi guy, but I'm open to it.
I just want to give a little maybe advice to our future gi competitors. One time I was training here and my coach, Josh, put me in a cross choke against the wall. And it was one of the worst things I've ever experienced in my life. So in the future, if you're looking for a very painful, just gi choke someone off the wall. It sucks. I've been there. But it's also fun. So, give it a shot. Do some MMA takedowns with a gi. Easy.
Breaking news. Ben likes being choked. Take
hey,
that
man.
as you will.
I've been doing this for almost 6 years. I gotta like it at some point.
Did you see that
Okay.
video?
So this is going to be our short that we put on YouTube. And we're going to see what happens. We're going to see where it goes.
Did you see that Dylan Dennis video, Ben?
Is now
I saw like the cover of it, but
Yeah, he choked out an OnlyFans influencer, boxer person.
all
I
right.
was impressed.
I'm gonna leave nameless here, but Ben, you will be able to put in the dots, and maybe if he watches, I will just make it even funnier. So there is someone that we've had interactions with at maybe this said gym, maybe that had issues sparring or something and has reacted not great. Maybe someone hit too hard or something like that, nerve damage or something along those lines. I found him trolling that post and said that she was faking it because she shook her body when she went to sleep. If you get blood choked, you really don't know what's going to happen, as we can see here, right? We've seen multiple people kind of react back. But again, I put that troll out there if he's watching and he can figure that out. What up?
That's why you got to stay up to date with the HCS Universe people. That way you know what just happened.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, I think the gi matches went well. They were exciting. As we said earlier, I think Ben, your match was pretty back and forth. Both of you throwing out submission attempts. And also we always love seeing people compete through all the way through and getting those last minute attempts there. So I think it went well. I don't think there was the part of the worry is always that gi matches you can get caught in grips and it becomes pretty boring. I don't think we experienced that. I'm sure we will in the future. Things are bound to happen, but so far so good.
I think the rule set makes it more entertaining. Because most gi jiu-jitsu is going to be points. You know what I mean? I don't think there's a lot of sub-only gi out there. And when you have that point style jiu-jitsu in the gi, I think it incentivizes a lot of stalling and a lot of kind of just holding on to grips. You get a point, you don't want to give up those points. So you might just get in a 50-50, hold it there. But when it's sub only, like you have to sub. You know what I mean? It's like you can't sit there and stall because that doesn't get you anything. So I think the rules themselves are what maybe make those matches a little more entertaining the way we do them compared to maybe other organizations where it can be a little more boring.
Well, yeah, you made it right there. You used it multiple times. Word stalling, right? I think our rules and the emphasis that we put on stalling inside the circle and the penalties that come for it always produce action. And I think we can help the gi. I think we can help the gi. I don't think we need to do any changes into the rules, which luckily our pro match had us go into the EBIs and all that kind of stuff. So that was good. Again, indifferent. We can keep it. Black belts, if you want to get into gi matches, let's go. Let's see the highest level and goes. Maybe we can get, I know Lydia wanted a match, but I couldn't get her any in the gi. But if I can get some judokas in here and all that kind of stuff, and we get some tosses into the wall, like you saw Billy Janger and Tyree Sutton go in the no-gi issue, if I can get a black belt in jiu-jitsu and judo, just kind of let it go.
I will say, I want to off the top here, HCS competitors. We saw probably the most from your gym, Josh, that we've ever seen compete at once, and the team did well.
Yeah, I was happy.
Did pretty well.
Well, we had 8 guys, which RJ. We'll start with it. We'll start with the Surrey guy. He has now made himself the #1 heavyweight in the rankings going into it, and I told him you got to stay active. RJ is, I wouldn't say hardest worker because I definitely got to yell at him a lot. But he's motivated. He's great. He loves to be here. And he has some big aspirations. He's making his MMA debut in December. He made his kickboxing debut this past year. He's done 2 Ironman tournaments this year. And he went against Practice Titus twice, heavyweights, whatever. He got the 2 wins. But it's going to be interesting to see him in the Invitational. We'll see how that goes. Started off the show with a newer guy that has been here, Justin Blackmore. He came out with a quick armbar finish. Chase Woodward is still on the winning Chuck Bob Squidward third. We have a bunch of names for him. He got it. Liam Rosa is going to be a name to watch. Good wrestling background. I've been training for a while, about like 6 months, I guess, consistently. I'm excited to see where he goes. Jaquan Howard did well. Ben did well. I think that was it.
Quite a bit. But yeah, I mean, yeah,
I like having an opportunity for our guys, give an opportunity to go compete. And I mean, they do get the benefit of training in the circle every day. So
Yeah.
if anyone's looking for some training rounds, hit us up.
I wanted to give a shout out to Justin Blackmore in particular. His armbar finish was super impressive to me. I mean, I love all my training partners. Like I said, I've trained with all these guys for a long time now. They're all excellent. They all give me great training, but just in particular super impressed with Justin and his improvement in jiu-jitsu in a very short amount of time. I went from, when I would roll with him, I went from like, I'm Josh, I'm sure you probably do this when you roll with me. When you're rolling with someone who just their skill level is not that high yet, that you're not really doing jiu-jitsu too much. You're kind of just guiding them through the steps. You know what I mean? It went from me kind of just guiding Justin through the steps, and then all of a sudden, like 2 weeks ago, I'm getting put in arm bars by him, and I'm like, where did this come from? And then, like I said, out of nowhere, in his first ever competition, his first competition experience, he goes out and arm bar someone in 40 seconds. So I just want to give a shout out to my man Justin. I thought that was super impressive.
Never trained.
we also
Never
had what was his name in the booth with me? Seth? Sam? Someone with an S.
Steven.
There it is. Also somewhat so if you were watching the show, it was me in the booth, and Steven and Josh were hopping in and out because both of them were coaching pretty much the entire day. His team did well as well. So coached Jabari, but also a few other guys from it seemed like there was a couple gyms at play there that he
Yeah.
was
So me and Steven used to be training partners back in the day when we were at Adamir's. He just took over Adamir's. He has Binding Arts now in Howell. But he was helping out with a lot of the Asbury guys too. And obviously Asbury had a good showing out like they always do. Their key guy that kind of made a name for himself was Matt Brondy. So Matt Brondy will be in the Amateur Invitational at the 180 under 185. So
Yep, and I would say outside of his coaching, that obviously went well. I think he did pretty good in the booth too. It definitely brought a different. Every time we get someone new in the booth with me, they bring something different. Lydia and Jillian have been very knowledgeable in the booth and doing a great job of breaking everything down. And it felt like Steven the whole time was just like, wow, this is amazing. Like you could tell he was really enjoying the event and loved the rule set. So it was just another, but obviously still high knowledge black belt, right?
yep, black belt that accepted to do it morning of because we lost our commentator. I texted him. He said, yeah, but can I coach my guys still? I'm like, yeah, I'll be doing the same thing and reffing.
Yeah, so I didn't even prepare to get in the booth, but he did a good job. So if you want to come back to the booth, I'll have you anytime. And then let's get into the event. So we talked about Jabari often already. I mean, punched his ticket, right?
Punch his ticket. He
We'll see him at the Amy
he's
invite.
gonna be dropping down to 45. So he'll be in the 145 bracket.
Yeah, would he go 3-1 or 2-1?
3-1.
3-1 on the day, so he had a great day. But I mean, he also lost to, and we'll talk about him, Alex D'Angelo, who remains undefeated inside the circle. Will we see him at the invite?
Yep, he's gonna be in the 165, which his hell of a weekend, he made a very that 165 bracket is probably the best bracket that you're gonna see. You're talking about Tyler Lee, you're talking about Xavier Barrios, you're talking about Bobby Rudin, you're talking about David Guerrera, and now you're talking about Alex D'Angelo, right? And now you're talking about 3 of them are undefeated, and 4 of them are all tied at 4.5 points. So Bobby being in a bad spot because he's lost to Xavier and Tyler inside the circle. We're gonna have to play with some ways of figuring out who's gonna get the top seed. But 165 is stacked. It's already filled, 12 guys. It's anyone's ball game, honestly. And those matchups are gonna be interesting. You know, I was thinking about like an Alex and a Tyler Lee, right? How aggressive Alex is on his feet. Tyler's so strong. We'll see. Tyler's going to be in the trials this weekend, so best of luck to him. But it's just endless possibilities. Alex looked good again. You know, got some finishes this time, and he just made his debut with us in August, and now he's 4-0, 5-0.
Mhm.
Benefit of competing in the Ironman. Benefit of competing in the Ironman.
Yeah, so he's been impressive so far. I mean, being undefeated that many matches, and we don't see it often. Usually by that, we've seen a few people go 2-3-0, but then they take that first loss. So I mean, getting this far out, I mean, it's been impressive. And then our last amateur that I want to bring up because he almost won the really freaking natural submission of the day. Jordan Volpe, for that hell of a black eye, he took a shiner. And if you're watching the stream, we put it on there for you. We gave a zoom in, but that thing was puppy. And after he got that, I think it was Clash of Heads.
Okay.
And then after that, smits him right thereafter after taking it. So powered through, hell of a performance from him. So I want to give him a shout out as well.
Yeah, he impressed us. He ended up taking third in the bracket. He did lose to Lawrence Good, which Lawrence Good, he impressed me through that triangle when Davian was walking him out. He kept that locked in. So again, all three of them are going to be in the under 185 invitational. So again, 185, 65, all the weights are going to be stacked. Can't wait.
Yeah, I got to talk to Lawrence, but we were saying in the booth because every time he was competing, we were so confused because it looked like he was doing nothing. He didn't care if someone put him in a bad spot. Nothing mattered, and all of a sudden he'd submit someone. And he was holding people in spots where it's like, when the booth, it just looks like just pass his guard. Like, why are you just sitting there? Just move. But for some reason they couldn't. And so we brought him in the booth. We made him shake our hands, and we figured out very quickly that although it didn't look like he was doing anything, boy was he strong.
Big guy.
But yeah, so I mean, yeah, that was another impressive matchup there. I mean, overall, I mean the Ironman challenge, the brackets went really well. I think everyone in the brackets really, everyone got all of their matches and more. Everyone put on exciting matches. I think that's something that we'd be excited to have back. Get Ben that first dub potentially there.
So set up an absolute blue belt fight between me and RJ.
Yeah.
I'll
If you guys want to see it, come to Open Mat tomorrow.
yeah.
Friday night.
Put an Instagram reel out of that match, Jeff.
Yeah, they both will pull guard immediately.
Yeah.
Double stall.
Here's how it'll go. We'll both pull guard. I'll try to buggy RJ, and then RJ will take my back, and then he'll make me tap with the body triangle. Probably. But that's it. Don't get put in a body triangle by RJ. It hurts so bad.
So, yeah, I love the confidence then.
Big guy.
But yeah, I mean, also we had some pro matchups, right? And someone who I think actually I wanted to pitch this. We make a section on every card, and it's called the Toscano Match of the Day. And it's just the section in which Nick Toscano competes because he's on every card now. I don't have an event without him at this point. Because he went, I think the last time he didn't compete, he was a ref.
So, yeah, the last Ironman.
Yeah, so I don't think there's been a card that we don't have him. We are literally holding originally scheduled to be an all-female only entire card, and he is on
it. Nick won, and every time he gets in the circle, he gets a little better. Remember
here too, which I like.
He literally, and he says that he loves competing for us, but you can just see he feels at home. He's always talking a little shit though. Always talking a little shit. Going into the match. Listen, I'm sorry for any person that we've sent out a poster and we've misspelt your name or anything like that. but for some reason, I'm not blaming myself. But between the I guess we'll call it telephone of moving the name around, Nick's name has been misspelled so many times, but it's like he's on every card. I don't know why. Once we got it right, just keep it right. Like we're good.
I think we're
We got
set.
it. It's Toscano. Everyone can. I have it tattooed on me. We're good.
CANO. I don't. I think we're good. And if we're not at this point, it's on Nick. I blame him now. Like we tried at this point. So if we're still saying it wrong, I'm blaming him. It's not changing anymore. So this is what you're going with. But I'm willing to give you your own segment on HGS cards to make up for it. I'll just say it wrong, but it will be yours. You get to compete in that segment only. And you can assign someone if there happens to be a card in the future that you're not on, which I still don't know when that will be, but if there isn't, I'll let him assign the person who gets to represent it.
It will be HGS 15. He will not be on.
All right, so he'll get to pick someone. That's
He
my.
might, I am going to ask him the ref though. So Nick,
Okay, that'll count.
check your DMs.
That'll count. But yeah, the rash guard was amazing. Love to see it. I wanted to keep going bolder, and this is my task to every competitor. If you dress excitingly, I will talk about you more than your opponent, and so do that because it gives me something to talk about.
Prepare yourself.
But
We're
Just
good.
wait till I get a no-gi match.
then
Crazy stuff.
I can't wait. I want custom designed products by Jenna.
Yeah. I might do what Josh does some days when he has to layer up for like the different sports that we train here. So I might have on like tie shorts, but then like a wrestling singlet under
You
it.
can give out my drip, bro.
I'm sorry.
So on Tuesdays we go from like kickboxing to now we do gi and then wrestling. So I'll put a singlet on, tie shorts, and then a gi over the top. And then as the hour changes, I just shed like a snake.
This drip. You guys won't understand.
And the best is when I like tonight's sparring night, I spar you in a singlet. Nothing's more intimidating.
Yeah.
That's true.
You see, I'm coming at you in a singlet, wrestling shoes, and MMA gloves. You should probably just run.
Sure.
When the old man's feeling good, the old man's feeling good.
And then our co-main event, or not maybe not co-main event, but on the main card, our 400th match ever happened inside the circle. It also happened to be our first ever pro gi match, so great timing that we did not manipulate at all to make it happen. Aaron Burns, winner of our 400th match, and our first ever pro gi.
Not her 400th win.
Not her 400th win, our 400th match. Her first win, and not her first win. But
her fourth win inside the circle.
Fourth 400 first.
Boom.
But yeah, that was exciting.
Yeah. She almost hit her Cherokee Plata, whatever she calls it. I don't know. Whatever she submitted Emily Sanchez with. She had it on Angela going out of bounds, and they were fully out of bounds, so I stopped it. And Daryl's yelling at me, "Come on, that's a sub!" And I looked at him and said, "No, that's out of bounds." So she had it locked in. So they went back, and then after that, Angela was making it very tough for her to pass and all that kind of stuff. And then we saw it to go to overtime, and that was the first time where we had to do the gi overtime rules, where we're not doing a armbar or a web or a back take, just because the gi, like if I start with your back and I have your lapel, like I'm gonna win. It's just what's gonna happen. You know where to go. So if the top person keeps control, like Aaron did, she went to mount and kept the whatever, and you're still good until you get fully out. If you sweep your opponent or make, I guess, distance away from your opponent, then it'll be stopped. So they made me test my rules, and luckily I was on my point, and Aaron got the victory by escape.
And then anyone got any others to bring up besides the main event?
Maya beat Marissa.
That was a good match.
So I knew a little about Maya just by how she came up on our radar. She has had wins over Lydia. And that was the original matchup that we wanted to do. Couldn't do it. And then I was talking to Marissa. I said, "Hey, would you be down?" Because in the upper weight classes, it's so hard to find. And Marissa was down. And I was like, "All right, cool, we'll do it." Maya came all the way up from Maryland the day of with a newborn. So she did what she had to do. And I remember going into the match, Nicole even said, like, "This is going to be the toughest one for Marissa. We'll see what happens." And they got into that awesome scramble up against the wall. Marissa took her back, and then Maya got out. And then really don't know what finisher. I don't know if it was a calf slicer or a toe hold, but it was gnarly. And Maya is good. She's a name to watch out for this weekend in the trials for sure. But yeah, that definitely took me by surprise. But again, I just got exposed to her at Ironman 3. And now Marissa will have her first loss on her record.
And then our main event, a name we're used to seeing inside the circle, either him or his brother, Luke Shimos. Pretty dominant victory there in the main event. Over a tough competitor too. Luis Cabrera, no scrub. But Luke looked pretty fantastic out there.
2 high-level black belts. Definitely saw the size difference. Lewis was definitely bigger than Luke. Lewis had a match the night before. I don't know for who. So we had to make the weight a little higher just so it was feasible. But yeah, I mean, it didn't take long for Luke to fly that arm and get the finish, which he's now 4-0 with 3 finishes. And he is on he's on Cockle's team for the duels. So the 2 of them, and I'm pretty sure Zach's on the team too. So that team's stacked. So we'll see them again. So that's 2 teams basically getting combined from last year's duel. So it'll be tough.
Those two finals.
Yeah. It was around. Yeah, but yeah, the Valley and
dictated the winner.
Yeah, BJJ team.
All right. Well, good luck to the other pro teams. But yeah, I mean that transition right in. Our next event upcoming, we have HCS 14, and the main thing on there, but we'll get to in a second, is going to be our 125 female Grand Prix. But we do have, again, it's an all-female main event, but we will have some other matches that we're looking at. So we got 2 last chance qualifiers and 2 pro matches on the card, right?
Yep. So we're gonna do. It's still an all-female main card. I think with the timing of the ADCC trials, and I know a couple schools had their promotions that week. We weren't able to get as many females as we would want to, but we don't want to take any eyes off of the females like we do. So we decided to add an undercard, which is pretty stacked. We're doing 2 last chance qualifiers for the Invitational, seeing that it is for 3 weeks after HCS 14, as we will have Juan Ramirez and Milan Winters battling for a spot in the 185 bracket, and Kyle Barrett and Ben.
Sorry. I think it's Ahmed Bedov.
Boom. My man, if we got that wrong, I'm sorry. But they're both going to be.
I apologize if I got your name.
We'll have a talk when you're actually there about the pronunciation. But
yeah, you can on Instagram on Ben_Sullivan. You can DM me just a voice note of the correction. I'll make sure I get it right for next time and help everybody out.
So they'll be battling out for a spot at the heavyweight bracket.
And then 1 pro match and 1 Nick Toscano match of the event. In that event will be Nick Toscano against someone who also competes almost, at least in the beginning, more as frequently as Sebastian Gallagher. So that'll be a fun one.
Yeah, Sebastian's coming off injury, so that's why we haven't seen him. Again, another match where they both. What?
Maybe this could be like the winner gets the segment. Segment after themselves.
Yeah, both of them, they want to stay busy. They both were hitting me up for more matches. Well, not Nick. Nick wasn't really hitting me up for more matches. Sebastian wanted to get on. And then with the way the layout was, we had 14 was supposed to be female only, and then 15 was the amateur invitational and the team duels. I ended up, all right, we'll put a couple matches on. So I hit up Sebastian, and I was like, you know what? Of a perfect matchup for the two, especially with Nick moving up to 165 for the time being. It was like Nick and Sebastian. So it was an easy match to be made. A lot of people are excited about that one, so I'm excited about it. It'll be a good match. Again, they both understand the rules, so this is when we get to see some higher level stuff playing with the overtime rules and all that kind of stuff. Maybe if we get to overtime.
And yeah, I mean, in last match we were talking about in the booth, it was very clear that Nick was not only like comfortable with the rules, but he's getting to the point where he's using the rules to dictate how his match goes, understanding how the overtime is going to work and what he needs to do. And he definitely seems to be using that to his advantage. So it'll be nice to see him go against someone who's probably just as comfortable with the rules. And it's like, I mean, I can play your games too if we're going to do that. So it'll be interesting to see that.
And then our other pro match, another two people that have been inside the circle a lot, Drew Marsh and Michael Dew. This match actually almost happened at Ironman 3 because we were going to do a round robin Ironman thing, but unfortunately, Dew came down with staph. It looked like 2 days before, actually the day before, because he weighed in and then he said, "Dude, someone pointed something out." So he's all cleared. And again, they both were looking for matches. I said, let's do it. So that's the undercard. You're going to start with 4 matches right away that are high level before we get into the female only.
And Michael Dew, Savvy Fit soaps, clean your body. Don't have to worry about those infections. Boom, you can smell like a chicken. That flavor is still confusing to me.
This one, the
Yeah,
zest.
that's right.
I'm not gonna lie.
Flavor.
I've used some like soaps before that are supposed to be for ringworm and all that kind of stuff, and I would break out. And I have sensitive skin, whatever. So I tried this one. Not this one. I tried the blue one, whatever that flavor was, scent was.
Flavor.
And dude, I'm smooth, like no rashes or anything like that. Super clean. So far so good. Drew Marsh hit them up, and Savvy Fit Soaps just shared it today. That it was great for his beard and all that kind of stuff. And I told the guys, I was like, listen, I had to stop people from eating it because they kept on.
They made the yellow one you keep holding up. It's literally lemon rosemary. That is chicken seasoning. They made a chicken. I would smell like a freshly roasted chicken, which is a good thing, but it's a flavor. Just like when someone asks you what flavor of Gatorade you want, you don't say the name of it. You say you want blue or red because that is a flavor. No free sponsorships. It could be Body Armor or Gatorade.
But Savvy Fit Soaps themselves will be in the building at HCS 14 this time.
Then it won't have to build a pyramid.
No, I'm sure they'll have a better pyramid than we made.
Our pyramid.
I might have messed up the period.
Yeah, you guys are taking it out like Jenga.
We kept.
Yeah, because I wanted the charcoal soap, and so I had to go all the way to the bottom for it. So I think I messed it up for them. But
I was a big fan of
for
the
soap. Try to scan. Don't know if that worked.
If that works through a Zoom that is then edited and put on a YouTube link, that is an impressive code.
yes.
If not, we will put it on when we edit.
Yeah.
Boom, we'll flash it a bunch.
We take care of our sponsors because they take care of us. So if you're looking to be a sponsor, hit us up.
I'll talk about you all broadcast, the whole thing. I'll make up a random submission of the day in your honor. And yeah, so then, I mean, other than that, the highlight of the thing, our Grand Prix 125 female Grand Prix, $1,000 on the line. And it doesn't get better than that. The Grand Prix always bring a different level inside the circle than you traditionally see. Not that everyone's not always trying to win, but you can tell when you put that $1,000 prize on the line, the intensity, the nerves, everything kind of just ramps up a little bit. The gym, you can feel it in the gym a little. So excited to see that.
Yeah, I'm super excited to finally get the female. We were supposed to do this one in August. Availability wasn't working, all that kind of stuff. And I'll be honest, I mean, as of last week, we were sitting in the spot where I was talking to Ben. I'm like, yo, I might have to make this an absolute bracket just because we couldn't get people to commit. And it was worrying me, and I started talking to competitors, but the competitors that we did have locked, they were like, we want to do 125. I was like, okay, I'll find someone. So we got 4 girls coming out for the 125. And I mean, it's going to be a good one. I really don't know how it is. All jerseys putting up the $1,000 again. So thank you for our loyal sponsor there. But I mean, first off, Amy Lynn, she won her wild card in April. You know, she's been sitting and waiting for this opportunity. She's competed once since then. She's been booked twice since then. Injuries have pulled her out, but she's been eyeing for this. And she's coming back in November for the Amateur Invitational. So it's possible she wins the pro and then come back and win the Invitational. Would be interesting to see. So that's the first one. Then we got Angela Joseph. You know, she's coming in. She just was part of a historic match with Aaron. We haven't seen her against anybody inside the circle not named Aaron, and Aaron is not in the Grand Prix. So fresh coat of paint right now. You have no idea.
Aaron, not a bad thing.
Yeah. And then the next 2, I mean, you have Sydney Young. We haven't seen her since she's competed against Aaron. What was that? HCS 3, 4, 3? I think it was 3. Before streaming days, still on YouTube back in the day. So I'm super excited to go here. She is one of the favorites to go into it. Everyone's excited to see her at that next level. And then the savior of the bracket coming in at the last second, Payne Letcher. She hit me up and she said, hey, I'm going to be down in weight anyway because I'm fighting the week before. I can do 125. I said, all right, let's go. So yeah, like I said, Peyton's going to be fighting for Flex Fight Series next Saturday night for a title. And then we coming back the following week trying to get a title too. So she can walk away with 2 belts. But she'll get $1,000 from us. So which one will be better? Who knows? Just kidding, Machi. Love you. We will be there too.
Putting the challenge out there. I'm sure we're willing to expand that bracket if anyone wants to step up and try to win that $1,000 still.
1,000.
I don't know what else you're doing in your life that in one day you can do 1 day's worth of work and win $1,000. But you can at HCS. So come step up to the plate, step up to the challenge. If you think I'm calling you out right now, it's because I am. It's a direct at you. You and you only. So if you think this applies to you, it's because it does. Any predictions, Ben? Grand Prix?
Honestly, I'm not sure. It's
Okay.
I think everyone that's not
Our
a great
refs have to stay impartial.
yeah. You know, refs like to stay impartial. I think everyone has a good chance. I've made predictions before and I've been right, and I've made predictions before and I've been completely wrong. So recently, at least when it comes to HCS, I try to keep more of an open mind. You know, I gotta say I like the underdog stories. You know what I mean? I like when someone comes in and
Is that your way of
someone
thinking?
unexpected
Billy's gonna
win.
win though?
It's definitely possible. I mean, I'm not sure what belt Amy Lynn is.
Well,
She's a blue. Yeah, because you said she's competing in the amateurs. Well, as a fellow blue belt, I would love to see another blue belt win a pro bracket. Blue belt solidarity. But
Back to Ben into that tape, folks. So you heard it here first. Head referee Ben Captain Sullivan claims Amy Lynn Camilli will win.
hold on.
All other fighters are doo doo. I didn't tell him to say that. He said it. Put it up there.
I'm being set up here.
For everyone else. I got haven't seen her in a while, but I got That's what I'm gonna say.
best of luck to all competitors. Thank you for competing for my event.
And we've done predictions before.
I recant my previous statement and I choose
Josh,
to say
I think you should take Peyton and
And-
and then everyone's someone and you pick one, and then you have actually spoken to Lady Hammer, and she took the other.
Mhm.
That's what happened.
They're all winners in my book,
Oh, everyone's a winner in my book.
and they all will be going home with.
And
That is so.
you could be a winner too. Again, I'm talking to you. You could be a winner if you come compete.
We are still we will still. I would love to make this bracket as big as I can. Recording this, we are still over 2 weeks out. I know a lot of people are in the trials and stuff like that. If you are interested to hop in for real, hit us up and we'll do it, even if it's a couple days before. The earlier the better. We'll promote you like we do, because that's what we do here at the house party. But again, if it's 4, if it's 8, doesn't matter. It's happening.
Just a couple quick wrap up notes. I mean, not our next event, but it's coming up November 19th. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a big one. It's going to be a long one. It's going to be an action-packed, exciting one. We have the amateur invite, the amateur invitation that we've been promoting for months now. Everyone's punching their tickets, earning their way there. It's going to be a big day. And just to make it that even bigger, because why not? Pro duels, pro team duels are back in the circle, which those always are ringing. I'm excited to see this tournament in the environment of the pro team duel environment, because they get rowdy for the team duels. So it's going to be a big fun one. Be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for the competitors. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, November 19th is already giving me a headache. Just kidding. But we're going to talk about it more leading up to, like I said, our first focus is HCS 14. But just so everybody knows, especially competitors, I'll be sending out more information. It is going to be a 2-card day. So basically, first card will start at 10. Second card will start at 3 or 4. 10 o'clock will be all the pool rounds. So we'll pools and semis. And then the 4 o'clock will be the pro duels and the finals. So it's going to be an awesome day of grappling. Going to be 2 mats. 2 mats are going to go on at the same time. AVP is going to be hitting us up with a dual screen stream. It's going to be the best day for grappling, I think. And I think we're going to be able to make it bigger than HCS 10 was. And that was our goal. Will be our last event of the show here.
It took YouTube TV multiple years to figure out how to split the screen. AVP Live said, give me 1 day, 1 chance. I got it. Shout out to them. As always, we're building in a gap of time for you at home to do your chores, do your errands in the break. There's going to be a little break. Go get your lunch, feed the baby, whatever. Come back to the stream at 4 o'clock. It's built there for you. I won't be there, unfortunately. So you're going to have to deal with some other loser's voice in the booth, but I'm sure they'll do great. I'll be in Iceland on the honeymoon. But
Internet. We can.
I might watch. I just won't be talking.
We'll zoom you in.
Yeah. From a hot spring. I'm sure Shannon will be,
Really? That's right.
Yeah. I'm sure I can't imagine there being any problem. I mean, the late one, it'll be like 10 o'clock. We'll probably be done for the day of whatever we're doing. So
we'll just like zoom you in like Dean Thomas during UFC fights. Like you'll just give like little 30-second play-by-play.
What do you think you took that round?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else before we go? Josh, with anything we'd give away if someone made it here, we'd take a selfie.
7 fits
Nope. You have to come.
Take a selfie right now.
We're not shipping it. You have to come get this.
You have to come to the gym.
You have to come to the gym and get this. So preferably during an event, but take a selfie right now.
When we're open.
Okay, great. If you did that and then you come to Shrewsbury, New Jersey, you can have soap. Vegan
Any scent you want.
Vegan soap, great for the skin. The Baker Boys are sensitive beings, but we can use the soap, so you can use the soap.
Really freaking natural.
Really freaking natural. Your skin is your body's largest organ, so take care of it. You know what I'm saying? Savvy Fit Soaps, All Jersey Mechanical, AVP Live, 1 sleeve. Last word. Rash Guard, Ruby Tuesdays. We thank all of our sponsors. We thank you at home for joining us as always. Until next time, see you at HCS 14.